Hey everybody, Carl Lodenthal here. So we have watched some basic go-to hitting drills to do, and we've gone over the first three swings, first three parts of our pre-swing mechanics. So now we're going to go over the kind of the middle third. So the first third was that load and stride part of it. Now we're going to the middle third, which I like to call kind of our power move. This is our driving our backside, turning our backside into the pitch. So this is probably the hardest part of the swing. If you miss the ball or if there's a bad swing, bad contact from the ball, this typically is the part that maybe goes a little skewed up here. So what I want to show you is just some of my things that I focus on, I concentrate on this part of the swing. So load, stride, we got that out of the way, our foot's down right when that pitcher's about to release the ball. So now the pitch is coming at us, right? So now the fun starts. So we got to think, are we swinging into this pitch? Is it a ball? Is it a strike? Is it what we want to hit? So with that, always this idea, this approach we're going to take is always being yes, we're about to swing at this pitch, is I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is where our lower half really gets involved in the swing. And again, by lower half meaning from the waist down, our legs. All right, our backside. So just like last video, line down the middle. Our backside is the side facing the catcher. So lefties, it's the left side, righties, it's the right side of your body. So to give you this view, meaning the pitcher's out here in front of me, is I'm going to show you. So I'm going to get my load out of the way and my stride out of the way. All right, so in my stance, load, stride. I'm in a hitting position. All right, from here, we got a couple things that we're going to do now that we want to actually do our swing. Is this back elbow, this needs to start to collapse into our side. And what this does, when this starts to drop, is that gets our barrel and it starts getting on a flat plane to the pitch. All right, so we don't take this elbow. Again, this is my front side elbow. So remember, when the front side takes control, that's bad. When the back side takes control, that's good. So when the front elbow takes control, I'm going to go like this, and you already see that my bottom hand starts to get on top of my top hand, and look where my barrel is. Now my barrel's underneath the pitch. That's a long swing, and you're probably going to either swing underneath it and miss it, or if you make contact, you're going to wish you didn't, because it's probably going to be a pop-up. So we always want to get our backside in control, and backside is your top hand. Your top hand's part of your backside, so that's always got to stay on top of your bottom hand. So the way to do that is that front elbow stays nice and relaxed, and that back elbow starts to collapse. At the same time that back elbow starts to collapse, you use those power muscles that we talked about last video. So your back hip, you back up, and your back knee, they start to turn into the pitch. All right, so you're almost showing your belt buckle to that pitch that's coming in. So you get to this point. All right, so you get from here, so load, stride, I want to swing now. Boom, drop my elbow in my side, turn my back hip into the pitch, or my belt buckle is now facing the swing I'm doing. And now this is a power position right here. From here, that barrel's still back, and you're ready to whip that barrel to that pitch. Hands are still back. Remember we talked about that rubber band effect last time? This is the point where we shoot the rubber band. So rubber band, stretch, and from here, fire. That's it. Back hip, back knee, top hand with your back elbow, fire to the pitch. So if I were to push the pause button, you'll notice that I'm still behind the ball, meaning I didn't swing like this. All I did was just turn my backside, so my head stayed pretty still. And the only thing that's really moving violently or moving quickly is that back hip, that back knee, and back elbow, turn into the pitch. Here to here. All right, now let me give you a different view, because this is where staying inside the ball, you kind of make it or break it. So what does staying inside the ball mean? So I know I explained in my first video about doing tee work drills. is you always want to set the ball up with two seams facing you and aim for that inside part of the seam. So if I'm here and I'm hitting here, I always want to aim for this seam that's closest to me. So when a live pitch comes at you, same idea. You want to hit either the middle part of the ball or the inside seam part of the ball. Now, obviously it's very hard to do with a live pitch coming at you, but that's why those hitting drills and those front toss drills are super important, because you've already trained yourself to take that swing. What I like to call is keeping your hands inside the tunnel. All right, so what does that mean? Perfect visual. You're the pitcher, I'm the hitter, right? You throw a pitch, let's say that pitch is right here coming in. So you're throwing it in here, that pitch is right here. I got from my hands here in my batting stance, once I get to this point of my load, is wherever that ball is, that's the tunnel I want to keep my hands inside when I do this movement of driving my hips into the pitch. All right, so load, stride, and then I want to get to here. So this is the same thing I did before, just different angle. So now if that pitch is here, which is pretty much right down the middle, see how my hands are inside that tunnel? If I go to here and do this, see how my hands start to leak? Now my hands are starting to come outside the tunnel. So if that ball's here, my hands are now outside that tunnel, and the only way for me to hit that ball is to swing around it. I'm going to hit the outside part of the ball. It's either going to be a foul ball, maybe just a weak ground ball to third or first base, depending if you're lefty or righty. Staying inside that ball, keeping your hands inside that tunnel, allows you to hit either the middle part of the ball or the inside part of the ball and drive it right back to where it came from. So, which I'm going to show you kind of the next steps of the swing in the next video. But that's why it's super important with that back elbow and that back hip and that belt buckle to show it to that pitcher, the pitch coming in, because if you don't, and you stay here and you just swing all arm, so if I don't move my legs, if I don't turn that back hip, and I just stay here and I swing like this, it's impossible for me to keep my hands inside that tunnel. You're naturally going to want to swing around your body, then look how my hands come outside that tunnel. Now it's here instead of here. So super important, that back elbow. Again, it's not your hands. You're not here with your hands. It's just your elbow is here. It's kind of towards your back hip, and it's almost like if they were tied together, your back hip and your back knee, and you were to hit the fast forward rewind button, they'd go hand in hand. So you'd go here, it'd be like this. Rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward. That's it. I know it looks like a simple movement, but when you're in a game, you're taking a full swing, that's really the most common part that gets out of whack. Some people just swing upper half, so from their belt buckle up, they just turn their body and don't turn their legs at all. They don't drive that back hip into it. And the only way that you're going to do that is your swing's going to just go in a circle, because from your waist only spins in a circle. It's really your back hip and that back knee that drives forward towards that pitch, and that's the direction you want your swing going, is going out, not around. So in my mind, I always know when my swing's going good and I'm hitting those line drives gap to gap, I know I'm keeping my hands inside that tunnel. I'm not letting my hands get around the ball, around the pitch. I'm keeping them close by dropping my back elbow, turning, driving my back hip into the ball, and then from there I just let my hands do the work, which I'll show you in the next video. It's when actually the barrel goes. But what this also allows you to do is, as you get older and you start seeing curveballs, sliders, change-ups, rise balls, whatever the pitch is, or maybe it's just a fastball, but the last second you change your mind, you don't want to swing, is it gives you that ability to not swing, not commit, without it being called a strike. Meaning, once you get to this point and you load and stride and you want to commit to that ball, and you're thinking it's going to be a strike, yes, and then last second you say, oh, nope, never mind, I don't want to swing, you have the ability just to stop, and that's it, and let it go. If you start swinging like this, all arms, you're not going to be able to stop yourself. You're just either going to check swing and stop here, or you're going to swing and miss. But by using your lower half, by using your legs, and keeping that back elbow close and driving your hands, you can stay back, and the last second you can be like, oh, never mind, I don't want to swing, and your bat's still back here. Okay? So a couple of things to remember, just to go over it again. So once we get to our load and stride, we want to swing that pitch, commit to our swing. Back knee, back hip, back elbow. That's the first to commit. Boom. It all stays compact, goes together. And if you do that, this top hand, for lefties, it's your left hand. For righties, it's your right hand. This top hand is always going to stay on top of your bottom hand and be in control. We don't want our barrel to drop, all right? And we want our bat to stay in the strike zone as long as possible. And by doing this, you're already creating that angle. Now where you're going to keep that barrel through that strike zone as long as possible and give yourself a bigger margin to make contact. All right, so thank you for watching. That is the middle third of our swing, and again, probably our hardest. And next video, I'm going to show you is when actually that barrel comes whipping through the zone, how to finish it off. All right, so thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.